You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Hey, you're listening to Adulting with Horses, the best place to be if you can't be at the barn. We are your co-hosts and equine authors, Heather Wallace and Natalie Keller-Reinert. As crazy horse girls, we don't take ourselves too seriously in the saddle or out. We celebrate the things that make us different. Join us as we talk about horses and pop culture and get a little weird in a fun way. Thank you for being a little weird with us.
Okay,
we're
perfect.
Here.
I can't help but notice that your name today is My Horse is Bad, and I feel like there's a backstory that needs to be told.
Yes. Every time I record, I feel like I have to reset because it's like a different day and different rooms in my house are utilized in different ways. And so today I had to move back to the bedroom and I gave myself plenty of time. And then I looked out the window and I saw hay on the ground and Ben bashing his hay net with his head. Now, for those who don't know, I buy, 500 pounds of hay in a big compressed block and I put it in a big net and it's on a platform. So when he's hitting that and hay's flying out, I'm like, he's opened the net. Today is the only day of rain forecasted for the rest of the month. And he's knocking hay out of his net, which will then turn into mire. And I really need it to last because, we're going away and stuff. So I had to go out there and heave hay. I'm wearing pajamas, for the record. I had to go out there and heave hay into the net and loop the net back up. It's a whole thing because the net is designed for round bales and this is a rectangle, blah, 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 blah. So yes, that took 25 minutes and then I had to run in and move all my gear down to the bedroom. My horse is bad. My horse is bad.
Your horse is bad.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Well, I wouldn't say my horse is bad, but for the first time since I owned him, Ferrous was lame. And okay, so I'm going to rewind. So I was able to go on a riding lesson. It was pouring rain. You'd be so proud of me. I got on and I still rode.
Wasn't it cold though?
I was like, no, it was a warm rain. So it was 75 degrees out and it was raining. It's like, so it was fine. And I was like, I'll survive. And everything was great. I'm riding. And I started to trot and I was like, my horse can't get his leg underneath him. And he wasn't bobbing, but he wasn't balanced. He was trying to figure it out and he kept trying to rush into the canter. And then the canter was sideways.
Oh no.
So I'm like, what? The actual. And so I was like, well, let's just maybe walk him and warm him up. Maybe he's just stiff because it's raining and, he's 16, all these things. And finally I was just like, yeah, no, I gotta get off this horse. And so I get off of him. This motherfucker, so, I don't know, he was running around his paddock earlier in the day. So my trainer's like, oh, I'm sure he's not lame. He was running and galloping and all that. He must have slid or something because his whole right sacrum was out. Both of his hocks were so tight. And so he definitely did something. So then I was worrying and freaking out because he's never been lame, and that was a pride thing for me because my horses don't go lame. So then I had to fix him. And then I was all worried and I couldn't find my poultice because my friends borrowed it. And then it was so good. They used all of it and forgot it was mine.
Oh my God.
So I was
we had to go buy a brand name.
It's the Sornomore clay poultice. It's the, it's so great. And so I went out and bought a secret tub that I put my horse's names on and then hid. After that. So he's not lame anymore. After he was adjusted, everything was fine. He wasn't lame. But I was like, it's pouring rain and I'm on this pony and I was so proud. And then he was lame. I was like, I guess Heather's not riding today too.
God.
He tried though, bless his heart. He tried.
I'm just imagining he was running around in the paddock and he did a scooch thing and planted his one hind leg and then just everything went rigid for a second and he went, oh,
yep. Yep, that's exactly what I think happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like wanting to kick myself because when I'm tacking up and grooming, I'm always checking him. And a lot of times I do, some pre-ride stretching, like gentle stretch. And I didn't do any of that because like we were rushing to like beat the rain. And then I could have kicked myself because I would never have gotten on in the first place if I noticed,
Right.
So then I felt bad. And he wanted to keep going, and I was like, no, like that's not what we're doing. So
yeah, he was like, well, my
yeah.
friends are going out, so I'm going out. He's enjoying the
Yeah.
rain. Yeah. Good little attitude.
He did. He's a trier, that one. He's a trier. So he's had a couple days off.
Oh, man. Yeah, I haven't ridden in a few days because it's just been like, I don't know. It's like, I'm taking today off. And then it was really hot. It was almost 90. It's like,
That's too hot.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit to just like reacclimate because I'm an evening rider. Like that's who I am. And so I'm always going to ride when it's a little hotter. So it's like, plus, sometimes you have to take a lesson or go to a show or something and it's not the ideal time of day. So it's just like, well, I should just acclimate so I don't pass out when it's hot like I almost did last year.
Look at you being responsible. And
I don't know who I am. I think I'm so aggravated like with last year's self with just like being spread way too thin and being just wiped out all the time. I'm just like, no, I'm going to do things like in this steady, like layer by layer fashion, like what are the steps? 1, 2, 3. And I'm not saying I'm successful at that, but I feel like it's in my head. It's in the back of my head.
How's that going for you? And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean, like, is it working?
I don't know. I mean, I wore a pair of shorts yesterday that used to be really tight and they weren't. So that's cool because I've been running. Like I've been lifting weights and then I just added running.
Okay.
Because I feel like I was trying to get around cardio.
There's no escaping cardio, and unfortunately.
My husband, I do weights and I do like a core day and stuff like that. And my husband always goes and runs. And then there was like a bunch of guys. The gym I go to has this weird weightlifting culture. It's like that Planet Fitness commercial. And so there were a bunch of guys where I wanted to go do core stuff. And I said, I'll just go run and listen to a podcast. So I did that. And I was like, it really wasn't that bad. So I've just kind of started doing it. So, I don't know. I don't even remember the question was. So it's clearly not working that well because.
Well, I mean, like,
taffy.
My husband and I had the conversation earlier today because he just joined this new fancy gym that opened up. It's like a country club of gyms.
Oh,
right? Yeah. No, I'm serious. Like it has saunas, cold plunges, steam rooms. It has multiple pools. It has a beach club. It has all of these things.
What?
It's like 20,000 square feet.
It's like the Great Gatsby gym.
It's crazy. And we went out to dinner last night because we're dating now. And we went out to dinner last night and we met these two guys sitting at the bar and they're like, "Oh, you go to that gym. You must be doing really well for yourself." Like I was like, "Oh shit, like we're bougie as fuck."
It's funny how gyms do that. Because when I joined the Park Slope Armory or whatever it was called, the YMCA, I felt like, oh my God, I made it. I joined the Park Slope YMCA. Like I'm making it in Brooklyn. So I totally understand that.
I mean, it is, I guess, a status thing, but
yeah.
I had told him, I said, why don't we plan a day? Because I'm not a member. Okay. So he goes, you could be, but you have to actually use it. Like he goes to the gym 6 days a week. That is never going to be my vibe. Like I don't even have 6 days a week to shower. Okay. Like I don't know when I'm going to go to the gym. So I'm just like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go on a date there and you could show me around and then, whatever, maybe I could come as a guest. Like, yeah, exactly. And like he gets a guest pass so he can have 2 guests a month. And I'm like, that sounds like my alley of two times a month. Like that sounds like that's doable. So I was like, why don't we do that? And he just looks at me and goes, yeah, I don't think you're going to come. He's like, I don't think you're going to do it. I was like, well,
we've known each other a while, haven't we?
We'll have been married, by the time this airs, we'll have been married 18 years and together 21.
Yeah, it gets intense. That's for sure.
He knows me pretty well.
That
whether he likes me still is the question. Yeah. We don't know if we still like each other. So, hence the dating.
The dating is awesome. I've actually done that, and it really does make a huge difference. Like,
It does.
you like feel valued. Like, oh yeah, I'm not just your roommate.
Well, that's it. You get into this roommate stage, right? Like where
Mhm.
you're just raising kids, working hard, getting through the day, and
Yep.
then you forget that you actually have a life with someone
Mhm.
before kids even occurred. So we're kind of in that place where we're just like, let's just see how it goes and see how we like hanging out. You
Love
know?
that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband and I went to the Friends of the Library sale. Talk about a
I
date.
saw.
Talk about a date. Because we just like, we both worked in books for such a long time and we worked together. So, and when you work in the same bookstore for like years, you get to know like certain titles are always around. So we like make a joke, like the Bean Trees. Remember the Bean Trees? Oh my God. Books we've never read. They're always present in your life. And we were playing like 5 Degrees of Oprah's book club. Like it was just the nerdiest.
You guys are such little
day.
bibliophiles. I love it.
We did. And then we went to a couple of record stores, but they'd sold out of the records we wanted. So, you know.
Boo.
Sucks to be us and not get up early. And it's so funny because the record stores in Gainesville, they're like, hi, you know, they're like, we're super cool 19-year-olds. Like, dude, you have no idea what I've done. No, I don't look it now. I'm wearing a fucking Dapple Bay t-shirt, my Horse and Coffee shirt. You know, it was like, dude, I have seen so many bands you will never see.
Well, I was excited. So I listened to like a lot of these like English, like British pop punk bands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, so I was checking on their websites trying to see if they were touring at all when I'm in London next, in
we
July.
always do that. We're always check for London shows.
Right? So I'm like, oh, I want to go see some of these bands when they're not London. I kid you not, Natalie. Like 6 of the bands are going to be on tour in the United States.
What?
And I'm like,
all my bands go to Europe in the summer.
Right. So I was like, so I was like, this is crazy. So without even asking my husband, I found the tour they're doing like 2 festivals, right? 2 separate festivals a week apart, both in New Jersey within 20 minutes of my house. And so I just went and clicked 2 tickets for each and I put them in the calendar. And when my husband woke up, I said, by the way, we're going to these concerts. Like it's happening.
Oh my God.
He doesn't even listen to the bands. No, they're not venues that have VIP because they're smaller venues.
Yeah.
So I will definitely, but I'm with my husband, so no fist fights this time, you know.
No, he has to do it then because he has to defend the honor shit. My husband almost got into a fight with somebody at a Death Cab show and it was my fault.
Well, that's the thing. So like my husband will be the one being like, Heather, stop. No, Heather, you know. And for maybe those just tuning in, I did get jumped at a Stevie Nicks concert once in the VIP section, which was all kinds of wrong. And so that's why we're like talking about it in this manner. But yeah, I don't do well with crowds.
That in VIP just is the greatest. And I feel like VIP is a privilege of like getting older. Is you go, do you know what? I think I do deserve like a bar without lines, and I do deserve a private viewing area,
and a bathroom that's been cleaned in the last 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
there is a certain level. So one of them is like a very small venue that I've seen a lot of big bands in over the years, but it's very tiny. There's just general admission, and then the other one is actually at the Stone Pony Summer Stage, which is an outdoor venue. There's no VIP or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yes, so in my hometown within Coast. So it's going to be fun. So I'm excited.
Congrats.
I know. It'll be fun. Something to look forward to.
I have tickets to something in like September, but it's in like Minnesota and I haven't even bought plane tickets yet. I don't know what I'm doing. It's insane. I just thought
that's something that you've done before.
Yeah.
That I never even considered. And when I was going to Las Vegas, somebody was going to a concert out there. I never even considered. I always look because I'm between New York and Philadelphia. So I always just look for people to show in those places. I've never once considered flying to a different venue.
Well, nobody comes to Florida. And when they do, our venues kind of suck.
Okay.
So there's that. But even when I lived in New York, I started going to Philly or Baltimore for shows a lot because New York crowds suck. And if you're listening to this in New York City and you go to the shows, then you know it's true. New York City crowds suck. People just go to get out of their apartment and then they talk through the entire thing. And I hate that.
I hate that.
I hate that. I hate that.
That
I hate
pisses me off more than anything.
New York City has the worst crowds anywhere. So we would just go to Philadelphia. We would like get on the bus and go over and sleep at the train station and then get on the bus in the morning. It was great.
Yeah.
Definitely the normal 30-year-old things to do. So, nobody comes here. So we're like, well, what's a great like theater that we haven't, we might never go to. And then we'll see if a band we like is going to play in that theater and we'll go to that. That's kind of like the game plan.
Have you ever been to like Red Rocks Amphitheater in like Colorado? Because that one
No.
looks pretty cool.
That one looks pretty cool. It's really, I will go to it at some point. It's really huge. The weather can be really iffy, so you better have other stuff going on because your show might get canceled for high winds. But no, we'll definitely go eventually. There's a lot of good venues, so that's just kind of my thing now. But I can't I have like a lot of stuff up in the air later in the year, as you know, and so there's a lot of bands I actually really do want to go see. A lot of plans I want to make, even things
but
like
you can't.
I can't plan for Maryland 5-Star, which I would like to plan for if we want to keep this like a horsey podcast. You go.
If you go to 5-Star, I want to know though, because I'll meet you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get to go, but it's just so hard to say. So yes, I'm just like waiting on other people to make plans for me, which is weird. But
giving up control of your life is a little hard.
It is. The payoff better be good is all I'm saying. But
you're going to be a kept woman.
I am. I'm a kept woman. Yeah. It's good to try new things.
There is something to be said for that. You can get a little
I was thinking about
spontaneous.
I was thinking about maybe taking vaulting lessons.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, why shouldn't I? Should I? Why shouldn't I?
I think you should do whatever you want. I mean,
think I should.
Personally, vaulting is I mean, that's aggressive. Like you got this like gymnastic stuff, right? Like
like I should. I'm getting
like you have to run
gym
next to
I'm
the
getting
horse.
Strong. Yeah, but they teach you like on a bouncy thing beforehand, like how to balance on the horse. I'm bouncing up and down for this audio format. So you you learned how to, thank you. We're in a really nice bra. I was looking at somebody on Facebook and they were like, "Oh, I'm on like my third lesson," and they were still bouncing on the bouncy thing, and I was like, "That doesn't seem so bad. If my knees could handle the bouncing, then I feel like I could at least learn to stand up on a horse. Maybe I don't learn to like do a backflip off a horse, but imagine if I could stand on a horse, that would be cool. And maybe I could learn to mount from the ground."
Okay, that doesn't seem like, but like standing on a moving horse.
Yeah, I think I want to do that.
So out of pocket for like my skill set.
Yeah.
Like, I fall over standing still. So like I can't even imagine what that would look like.
Well, yeah, so you learn on the bouncy thing, right? Like you bend your knee, you bend your knee, you bend your knee, right? So that you're flowing with it. Like standing on like a barrel bridge. Have you ever been on a barrel bridge?
I can't say I have.
It's like a there's one at Disney. So excuse me, the allergies are killing me. There's like a bunch of barrels and everybody goes on it and you jump up and down and make the barrels go up and down in the water. And so the key is to almost like a bumpy subway, right? Where you bend your knees and you let
and just go with the motion.
You try to remain level, like your head remains level and your lower body is absorbing all that shock like springs. I'm pretty sure it's like that. Only on a horse.
See, my thing is like my husband has tried to take me surfing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't even do the pop-up to get standing on
you have to
surfboard.
Do less. Do less.
So like
that's too much.
Have you met me? In what?
Do less.
In what about my personality says do less?
Just do less. You gotta do more than that. Do less.
That's a great movie.
I know, it's so good. I watched it like 2 weeks ago.
That is one of my favorite movies. I'll watch it 1,000 times. But it's funny because I say that like with work, we were talking about you know, how some people over massage, right? And they're doing too much
Yeah.
to get, and then so like the horse is bracing and they're not getting it, and I'm like, do less, right? Which is great when it comes to work, but my personality and the rest of my life is the complete opposite. So what do you mean do less? Okay, like be
You
specific.
can't want it so bad, Heather. God. It's not cool.
I will repeat. Have you met me? Like, that is literally my biggest flaw.
You were never a hipster like me.
I am an overachieving person.
Don't
okay?
show that you care.
So you like you want the black cat version of someone standing on a horse as opposed to golden retriever? Is this what you're saying? Like,
Oh,
when it comes to-
definitely. Yes. I want to look cool. In fact, that's a great idea to wear all black on the back of a horse and just be like, "What's up?" and just go around. You're just like
throw
middle
fingers
fingers
at
flying.
people and be like,
I'm standing on a horse, bitches. All y'all people
What are
sitting
you
on
doing?
horses, fuck you.
"You think you're better than me? Well, clearly I'm better."
Oh man, now I have to do it. That's the ultimate
Kind of have
like,
to.
flex. Like I can fucking stand on a horse.
Yeah, if you're like, so you can jump 3 feet.
Nope. That's for teenagers.
The next thing we know, you'll be like Roman riding.
Yeah. No, that might be carrying too much. I don't want anybody
just gonna
to think I
tell
care that
you-
much.
I need Corey or whomever is there to take video of when you master this. And I would love bloopers too, but like I'm gonna assume you're gonna master it. And I would love to see you.
Master, it's just me standing on the horse. That's mastering.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Exactly. Yeah. Just standing without falling. Like
Mhm.
that's all it is.
Mhm.
Right? I don't even care if it's at a walk. Although it's probably easier at the canter.
I think
You
it's
know, if you
easiest
think
at the
about it.
canter. Yeah.
Yeah. I think too slow sometimes your balance is off.
Mhm. I think canter like as slow as a walk. Like I know Ben can walk and does walk faster than the vaulting horses I've seen canter because he's insane.
Yes. They're like almost like Western pleasure lopes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not with their head on the ground.
Yeah, that would be bad. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's just an idea I had. And yeah, I
There's
think
definitely places in Florida you can do that.
Mhm.
Like there was a barn I went to when I was doing my saddle fit clinic that had the mats and like the vault and everything like there for practice.
Yeah, I know there's a place in Ocala. I think someone invited me to go once, and I was like, I can't right now, and I couldn't. But I might be able to this year. You know, for the gram. For the gram.
For the gram. I do
Yeah.
it for the gram.
It's everything I do is for the gram.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well,
So-
you know, it's funny. So I was talking to a friend of mine at the barn, and, you know, she's one of the teenagers there. And she goes, you know, so I listened to some of your podcast episodes. I'm like, you're only 16. Like, what are you doing? Like, why?
Oh no, these are
would you
explicit.
listen?
It's unallowed.
I know. And she's like, Heather, you're not that bad. You say worse at the barn. And I'm like, you're right. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. We're supposed to be
So-
boring because we're over 40. I forgot.
Right. No. She loves me. And everybody, all the teenagers love me because I'm like irreverent. You know what I mean? Because I do
Yeah.
more. But, and they never know what I'm going to do. But she goes, you know, you really talk about people a lot. And I was like,
Yeah.
but not badly. Like, I was like, not badly though, right? Like double checking with her. She's like, no, you just talk about them a lot. I'm like, so this is a warning? Like,
What is
should
this?
I not do that? Like, I'm not sure what this is. Like a 16-year-old is being like, do less.
Well, you need to tell her, be like, Natalie likes barn gossip a lot, and she doesn't have a boarding stable because she's a poor girl. So, you just have to keep me apprised because I miss that phase, that sort of segment of my life is over. Barn gossip is not a thing I get anymore. So maybe
Yeah.
my new vaulting.
Well, maybe
barn.
I should spread it out because I get, well, you know, I don't, there's a lot of things I hear that I'm not allowed to say. So to be honest, I'm very good. I don't share secrets.
No, all you do is talk about like when you guys go on a trail ride. So I think
Right.
she just wants to be name dropped. She wants to be name dropped, is what it is. Let's call her Cassandra. Instead of Cassandra, we're thinking of you.
Yes.
And,
exactly. Don't
one
listen to
day
this episode.
You will be old too, Cassandra. Death comes for us
We
all.
don't have a lot in our lives, okay? I need content.
We can't all be teenagers, okay?
Well, it is
Some
so
of us
funny because I
hated
was
it
looking
anyway.
I helped her with her TikTok content the other day. Like there was a couple teenagers there, and I was like, this would be really great for one of those mean girl TikToks where like each of the horses was one of the mean girls. And then I took videos and I sent it to them and I said, just tag me because I'm lazy. I don't want to create the
it's
content.
so much work. Oh my God.
I was just like, just tag me and then I'll share it. Like I'll repost it as if it was mine. So that's kind of what I was doing. So I was like, they should be thanking me.
Hello. You should be so lucky as to get name dropped by us and have her do your content for you. I used to be very, very social media savvy, and I'm not anymore because I got old. But there was a time, babes. I was an early adopter. Yep.
You were. Well, and it's what's funny
Google
is
Plus
I was
invitee
talking
right here.
Oh, fancy. I'm like in the presence of greatness is what you're telling me.
Well, I used to get paid quite a decent amount of money to put idiotic things on Facebook and Instagram. So, there is that.
I was looking at my feed the other day and I was just like, wow, I really haven't been posting a lot lately. Like the behind the scenes, like the farm stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's because when I do get there, I don't think about bringing out my phone. Like, I just want to be there with my horses, grooming them or playing with them or whatever. And so, like, sometimes I forget that, like, people want to see the horses.
Sometimes
people want to,
feel like I've taken all the pictures already. You know what I mean? I'm like,
like this isn't new. Angle. Here's another.
The sun looks like this now. The trees look like I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. Like, okay, what else do you want? Look at my old pictures.
Just scroll to the bottom.
See what it looked like last year? It looks a lot like that also this year.
Well, and that's why I'll always do a lot of stories when I'm traveling or doing something fun, and different. But like if it's just me and the horses, although I actually had a really cute thing. So last Sunday, it was one of the ponies at the barn. It was her birthday. And Ferrous and I were invited to her birthday sing-along. So she brought her out, or they brought her out. The owner brought her out, and they had a tiara on her bridle, brow band. And they got them Dunkin' Donuts, like a donut. And so I was on Ferrous videotaping, as I do, and we sang happy birthday to Sky. And I took a little video, and it was super cute. Ferrous was like, where's my donut?
Yeah,
but it was adorable. It was adorable. Yeah. So I'll actually have to share that because I have the video.
Yeah.
I'll share that on my social media. It was really, really cute.
People like that cutesy stuff.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, and the person whose pony it is, they have a very popular TikTok. Like they get noticed a lot. They have a lot of followers. I had one photographer. She's a client of mine, and sometimes she'll come and do photos for me. So she did like the holiday photo. She goes, "Is that that username?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my God, I follow them on TikTok." I said, "Really? That's so cool." I was like, you know me, right? Like I'm an author. Like I do stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I've known you forever though. I'm
yeah,
like, okay,
it's not that exciting.
I'm not exciting.
I was at Disney, and I was sitting behind this group on the train, and they were talking about the YouTubers that they had seen in the parks and being like really giddy about it, like, oh my God, I saw, Fairy Tale Dave and, whatever their names are. And then one of them mentioned somebody that I had personally had like an insane run-in with once. I was like, what? They're like, oh, I just really want to meet, I can't even think of an idiotic enough name for this guy. And I was like, I wanted to say so many things about this person. Right. And then they just started saying, yeah, I was like, oh my God, Corey, I know who they're talking about. This person's serious.
Oh my God.
And then they
really
just started
hard.
singing Taylor Swift songs. And I was like, get me off this train.
Yeah. Well, I was in one of my favorite restaurants / bars one night, and it's down the street from this big theater. So we have a lot of big famous people come, right? And I guess there were some of the people who were performing were like, I guess they have a YouTube channel, a podcast and all that. They're like mommies, right? There's like mommy influencers or whatever. And my bartender, Ted, he sits down and he's just like, oh, do you see who that was? And I'm like, no. And he's like, that's so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. And he's just like, how do you know who that is? I was like, because I don't follow mommy influencers. I was like, do they have a horse? Then I don't know who they are.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes. And with respect to former horse accounts whose proprietors had a baby and then it started filling up with babies, I muted you a long time ago because I don't like babies. I don't want to look at babies. When you get back to your horse, DM me.
That
yeah.
is fair. Sometimes the content shifts,
and that's fair, but different audience.
but not everyone's going to shift with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's why I try to keep my stuff really like just look. This is what I'm doing, and right now all I'm doing is messing around with my horse and planting vegetables, and reading a ton of books. And that's it. Sorry, guys.
That's the thing. I think my social media is just like I couldn't call it like a vibe. It's just literally my life. So it's like whatever I've got going on that day is what's happening.
I cannot with like a branded social media where it's like, oh, everything is the same, like sepia tone, or people use a lot of graphics and stuff like that. Like, they try to like curate their grid. Like, get out of here. I didn't come here for more businesses. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't be that kind of business. Have some fun.
And then it's like the whole, I've been promoting the books a little bit more than I used to, which is something I need to do because I never actually promoted the books.
Right.
But one of the things that I'm really is like, you can't get enough cuteness of Ferrous. Like, and Delight is handsome and everybody needs to see him.
Can I say one thing about Ferrous? Can I just say one thing?
Yes. You can say 1,000 things about Ferrous.
I just really think you should brush his mane.
Will we be friends after this?
I just think you should brush his mane.
I do. Every day.
It's so messy. Why is his mane so messy?
So it's going to get cut for the summer, okay? But what happens, I'm just in so he's got very coarse mane. Like it's almost like it's so coarse. And so sometimes some of the people at the barn want to braid it when I'm not there, right? Because they think he's hot. And he rubs the braids out. He rubs them against wood, fencing, against stalls, whatever. So it gets choppy. And then if I take the braids out and I detangle and I brush it, his hair is like mine. It holds the curl. And then you get this so it's just he's a sloppy little child who used to be a hunter.
Like what is
he might be. His hair is
because he's really speckled.
Yeah, he might be. You never know. I mean, I thought he was a thoroughbred Welsh cross, but you don't know really.
It must be the Welsh. Oh, it must be the Welsh.
He's feral. He's feral. Delight will keep his braids in for a full week, and his mane is glorious. It's long, it's beautiful, and Ferrous looks like he just got electrocuted. It's.
I'm always looking at him like you take the you take like a saddle video or something. And I'm like, why is his mane? Brush his mane, woman.
And I did. The fact is, should I do before and afters?
I would love that. Yes,
I will prove to you that it is an improvement over what it was 20 minutes earlier.
Oh my God!
I'm riding him today, and I will 100% be doing that for you.
I tell you, I mean, Ben might be similar, and that's why I brushed his mane because I never brushed my old thoroughbreds' manes. They just were like, okay, and I got on, and they were fine. But I have to brush because I can't even look at it. I'm like, I'm not riding you like this. When it stays
sometimes, flat. And sometimes I'll do a running braid just to keep his mane in place, and then take it off after I ride. And I did that last Sunday. So I have proof of that too. But it's just, he's wild. And he's a quiet rebellion. He's the kind you're like, oh, he's such a good boy. He doesn't do anything wrong. No, he finds ways to subvert you and say, you're not in charge of me. And he does what he wants.
Welsh pony.
That's the Welsh. Yeah. Some days you get the thoroughbred. He's like, whatever. And some days you get the Welsh. And he says to fuck off.
Oh my God.
So it is horrendous.
He's so funny. He is really.
You're fair. You're fair in your assessment.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to, I didn't want to call you out too bad on it. And that's fair. I understand that there's a reason, and I feel better now. And I understand that you have, a plight that you're dealing with here.
I do groom him every time I ride.
I believe that you groom him because I feel they get really spoiled belonging to Bodywork Mama because they're always perfectly adjusted.
Yeah, he gets a massage before at least once a week.
Oh my God.
Sometimes, before I ride. So it's just
I've only ever had one massage in my life. Ferrous is getting multiple massages per week. That's as
My
it
horses
should
are
be.
spoiled.
It's as it should
Well,
be.
and I'm going to show you his tail because
Oh.
his tail is actually quite luxurious, but it is coarse. Like it's not like he'd have an afro if I let it grow. You know what I mean? Like it would be puffy. Really
It's like
puffy.
Manny's miniature horse mane explosion. Why? So I know miniatures are selectively bred, obviously, because they're horses. So can they breed them with like slightly less hair? Can they just selectively breed them to be less like little yak creatures that you have to work really hard to keep up with? Because if I want him to look nice, which frankly I don't, because his whole purpose in life is to just be a horse, because he didn't get to be a horse his whole life. So the reason why he lives like he does is because I'm like, be a Mustang, be free, and he loves it. But if I do want him to look decent, like if somebody's coming over and I don't want to be embarrassed, it takes effort. Oh my God. And he hates it. He's like, don't groom me. Oh, like
he's like a child. You have to put it in the bath and he's like fighting the whole time.
It's exactly like that. Or like a cat. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like swinging and carrying on. And then he's like, I have to go rub my tail now. Why? What's wrong with your tail? Nothing. I just love rubbing my tail and making the hair stand straight up on it. Oh. Like, can we just braid them just to be a little less extra, just a little smoother?
I don't think I've met a mini that didn't have like a giant mane of hair. Like
It's
giant.
crazy.
Bigger
I
than
really
them.
like smooth things. I don't know how to put that. But
well, you're used to the racehorses with the short manes that are like kept close to their bodies, thinned out,
That's who I am.
Well, and I will say, you're not the first person to mention my manes because every summer everybody at my barn is like, your boys' manes are like so long. And I'm at a hunter jumper barn, right?
Yeah.
So it grates on them.
Yeah.
And within the last week alone, my vet and my farrier have both said, your thoroughbred looks like a draft. And they don't mean his weight, okay?
Right?
Like, he doesn't look like a thoroughbred. Like,
I let Ben's mane grow for a long time, and it was the first time I'd let a horse have a long mane. And I ended up shortening it because it was getting caught in the reins and because it was hot. And then I was like, oh, you look a lot better with a short mane. Like, it makes his neck pops with a short mane. And he looks professional. He looks like he has a job.
Right.
So no. I don't want a slacker horse. I want a horse who goes to work.
Slackers.
My horse gets up. He brushes his teeth. He has a cup of coffee. Brushes his teeth again because coffee. And then he gets on the train and he goes and does his job. He doesn't have a full-time schedule, but he gets it together.
He's a consultant, really.
Yeah,
he's a consultant.
And that's really what you want because they have more free time.
Yeah, no, I would say Ferrous and Delight are home buddies. They are people who basically had children and never shower or leave the house. They wear sweatpants at home all day. When they get dressed up, they put on their better sweats. I will say, at one point, I actually did buy Delight new reins. I bought him rope reins because his mane was getting stuck in the hunter rein. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to cut his mane because it's glorious. Okay.
Yeah.
But I will say with the show pony now, right? So we're growing out his mane, we're training it to the right, it's gonna get thinned and pulled. Like, he's gonna look fancy. So it'll be proof that like just because I have two slackers doesn't mean I don't have one that is showing nicely.
That's your Alex P. Keaton pony.
He's the outward facing representative.
To come back to the hippie house.
Where everybody else is barefoot and wild,
You live where? The other ponies say.
Listen, when I get dressed up for work, I'm wearing jeans, okay? My normal everyday is leggings or scrubs. That is what I wear to work.
Yeah.
So if I put on a bra and I'm wearing jeans, like, Lord love you, like, we're fancy. Like, when people see me at book signings, like, I actually got dressed that day, okay?
Yeah.
Not every day is like that.
And it's still just a t-shirt. You just wear your t-shirts really well.
I just accessorize with a hat and some earrings.
You really do. Yeah, or a great coat. Except for your Here Come the Boobs dress. But even that wasn't like anything but a black dress. And you dressed that up with accessories. So
yeah, all I did was put on a belt and my boobs went.
They really did. It was extraordinary.
They really did. I know. I think I scared people away with the level of boobs that was out today. And I did get invited to the Renaissance Fair. Remember?
Oh. Well, they're just looking for women in general. Please.
Don't make it weird, okay? The carnies wanted me.
Listen, anybody who wants to date you, that's pretty good, right? That's a Notting Hill line, in case you weren't. That's familiar.
Are you saying I'm the Welshman?
No. That was Bernie.
Oh, Bernie. Sad man.
He ends up with the girl with the feathers. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen 2 movies in my life. Quoted them both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I asked on my Facebook about horse movies, but I actually hate horse movies, so I haven't read any of the comments, and it's just like piling up over there. Like, what's your favorite horse movie? Everybody's got one, apparently. I don't enjoy any of them, so I don't really know. Do you?
I like every horse person, if I like watch a movie and there's a horse in it, I don't just get entertained. I start dissecting.
Of course.
I'm like, why are they on the wrong lead? Why are they saying they're doing the jumpers when that is clearly a hunter jump?
Oh my God.
And that stuff pisses me off so much. I will say the one movie that I will stand to watch, barring the first 20 minutes, is Horse Whisperer. And I can't even watch that more than once a decade because it like traumatizes me. So
that is so funny. I wrote something down, so I've been journaling. It's great. I recommend it. And I wrote something the other day, and I do not remember the context, but I definitely wrote, well, people tolerate the horse whisperer, so they will tolerate me.
And here we are, full circle.
That was really the lowest bar I could think of.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Mm-mm. I don't remember. Okay. It was the training scene, right? The round pen scene. And I do I know what they were doing. Mm-hmm. I know what they were going for, and I get it. I also wouldn't do it today, but I get it.
Right.
So man, the 90s were a strange time.
It was a strange time. And I will say, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Jamie, because when I put horse movies, I don't think about documentaries, because
sure.
My friend, those are 2 totally different things,
mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I'm going to change my answer here.
Okay.
So my friend Jamie has this docuseries called, I think, oh God, I'm going to forget the name of her docuseries. Sorry,
That's
Jamie.
That's a long title.
It's awesome, and she just did a showing at Rutgers. But one movie that I own on Amazon Prime and I've watched a number of times is All the Wild Horses, about the Mongol Derby, from Ivo Marlowe.
Have you been to Mongolia?
Shut up. Ivo is such a nice guy, and I bought that movie before I went. Because I wanted to see, kind of what to expect, right? And obviously the Mongol Derby was not what I was going for, but and I actually really enjoyed it. And I think it captured that event very, very well. But again, documentary, it's not a fictionalized movie.
Yeah, I would check that out, probably, maybe, if I ever felt like watching a movie, which doesn't happen very often. But it might.
Yeah.
It could happen. Yeah. Mongolia sounds cool.
Maybe I'll put it on one day when we're living together and rooming for an event. I could put it on because I own it. So there's no reason for you to buy it or rent.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Free stuff. So get the popcorn ready.
But then I'd have to learn. Oh, usually so tired after an event.
You have to learn what?
It's a documentary. It's educational. So test at the end?
There is no test at the end, but it's actually really, really good. And I'm looking at my friend's docuseries right now.
Yeah, look it up because
I want to put the name of it. But it's going to be educational. And you learn a little bit about the event. You learn
documentary.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
It's Wildlands, Wild Horses.
And that's about That's about Mongolia too?
That's about the Mustangs in North America, like in the United States. And
so that's probably kind of a bummer.
No, it's actually really, it's beautifully, like,
Yeah.
so she actually came to Mongolia with me because she was going to film our event in Mongolia, and she did, but we never made it into a film. So we have like all the content or whatever, but she does a really good job, and she is a big fan of, rescuing Mustangs, but also leaving wild horses wild. So like that kind of in the middle. So her docuseries showcases both, what the BLM is doing, what the cattle ranchers are saying versus what, horse people say, and trying to just raise awareness for the Mustangs, both in the wild and adopted. So anyway, it's beautiful.
That's cool.
And she's a cool person. That's actually how I met her, was at the Equus Film Festival showcasing that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So she's been working on that for a long time. But yeah, no. So I like horse documentaries. I don't love movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. That was like the Seabiscuit thing. Like my statement was, I think Seabiscuit's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a really long time, but I think I stand by Seabiscuit being a good movie. And when we went to Jalapa Farm, which is where they filmed a lot of the like farm scenes for Seabiscuit, I had no idea what they were talking about until I like watched a clip, even though I'd seen it like 25 times. Like, this is where he gallops through the fields and over the bridge. And I was like, yeah, like, no idea what I just have no memory whatsoever for anything. And so it's just like, they definitely galloped over this bridge. She's like, and they padded it like 3 feet with all this, with shavings. I'm like, ooh, okay. No idea. And I looked up, I'm like, oh, that was a really great scene. And it goes past like the horse graveyard. I'm like, oh, I have photos of all of those gravestones. I did see all of those things in person. So this is really cool. I recommend the Jalapa Farm tour. If anybody's in Lexington for any reason whatsoever. It's a really good tour. I don't go on farm tours a lot, but that one was really historic and good. Yeah.
I went to the Ashford Stud when I was down there in Coolmore.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been to that farm. So,
but
I also haven't seen that movie.
Seabiscuit?
Is that bad? Yeah, I've never seen it.
I'm telling you, and I think you know that my level of taste is very high and discriminating, that Seabiscuit is the only horse movie worth watching in the fiction category.
All
so,
right.
Yeah, I recommend it.
I don't know. All right. So maybe I'll have to check that out.
I have a different
it's got
Pones.
Level of... It's got pony?
It's got Pones, man.
And not Pones.
You got Pones.
So I would like to say, because I know you put it out on social media, but like for any of our podcast listeners, if they have a movie we should watch that they highly recommend, that we will take it into consideration at a later date. So do you want to do adulting wins?
Adulting wins.
Every time it's like a soundbite.
Adulting wins of the week. Sometimes, like, this week feels a lot like last week. It feels like the same week. I don't feel like anything changed. That might be a win.
That might be a win.
It might be a win. It was level.
No chaos in your life, right? Last week you didn't have any chaos.
There was chaos. Yesterday there was a kitchen flood. We've had chaos.
I told you I was going to try to keep the flooding to myself.
It was fine. I was like, no blood, we're good. It was fine. So there's been blips, I would say. But in terms of I like a level week. I like a week where I get up and I get some writing done, and then I go to the gym, or I keep writing all day, which is also nice. And then I eat lunch, and then I might work some more. I might take a nap, and then I go out and ride my horse, and that's my day. I love a week like that. A whole week of that is like the dream.
It's like a gift.
In fact, I would say my win of the week is that I went to town yesterday and did in fact go to some stores and ate a sandwich, not at home, and stuff like that, because I was fully ready to spend my entire day on the sofa. And I didn't. And I
So your
didn't.
adulting win is that you left the house.
It is. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
That's a
I
big
didn't
one.
force myself to leave the house because I don't think that's good either. But I was just like, yeah, going out is going to be fine and it's going to be good and you're going to have a nice time. And I did. That's my win.
That sounds awesome.
My wins are getting smaller.
No, but that's the point of these wins. Is they don't have to be big, right? It's literally just something to focus on something good that happened that week.
Totally. Yeah. That
Right?
I went to the Hay store last week and there was a new woman behind the desk and I was wearing an Adulting with Horses shirt and she was like, ha ha ha, Adulting with Horses. She's like, adulting is the worst, isn't it? I was like, no. Think about how awesome it is that you're an adult and you don't have to ask permission to do things and you don't have to go to school all day. Like, you can eat whatever the hell you want. Like, being an adult is the best. She's like, huh. I would hate
You might
to
have
be
changed
a child.
some lives that day.
That would be. I hope so. I hope I cheered her up a little bit. Like, just you've got your life, man. You can do whatever you want with it. That's awesome. I don't know. I hated being a kid.
I think there's pros and cons to both, in my opinion.
For sure.
You know, there's like anything, there's a balance.
Yeah.
So I will say my horsey adulting win of the week is that Ferrous is no longer lame, and he didn't stay lame after I worked on him. So like it went away quickly. I see you just spilled on yourself.
I did spill water
because you
all
were
down
so
my
excited
face.
for me. And then my big one is that Shadow on the Mountain, book 2 of my Green Mountain Romance series, came back from final edits.
Yay!
And it went out to my ARC readers, which are my advanced readers. So I am on schedule for that beautiful publication date of May 1st.
Wow. May 1st and your book's already back? That's 10 days away. Oh, I've given away what day it is. Edit this part.
That's okay. No, it's fine. Yeah, so when everybody listens to this, because this is for the May episode, the first May episode, so like the book will be live.
They can read
and you'll
it
know
immediately.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, so like
it's a lot.
Pretty exciting.
So your future win of the week is that the book is out and it's got 5-star reviews. Yay!
Yes, exactly. Hopefully, cross fingers.
That's
Yay!
exciting. I'm happy for you.
Me too. My editor thinks this book is better than the first.
That's the way. The other day, I noticed Backdoor Horse was number 1 in its category. So you had
It's number 8 today, so it's like fluctuating. But yeah,
it's gonna fluctuate.
It's still selling really well.
That's great.
I think I have to date. I think I have over 100,000 Kindle unlimited pages read on that book, which is wonderful. Wonderful. So keep it coming.
Yeah, seriously. Go read the book. It's in Kindle Unlimited. It's in paperback.
You got to pay for my pony's feed.
Pay for her pony's feed, people. And then pay for my pony's feed also. Because I sure can't.
Aww. Especially if he's
I don't have
ripping
that
it
bodywork
apart.
money coming in. Come on. I'm not masseuse. I've heard about you millionaire masseuses.
Yes. I'm just dipping in riches at this point. I say fully sardonically.
You're a Scrooge McDuck if I ever saw one.
I did just open because I don't have like, a IRA or like a 401k or anything like that because I'm an entrepreneur and I work for myself. So I just opened myself a money market account for long-term like retirement savings. So hopefully one day. I
have 2 tiny 401ks. No, I have like multiple 401ks because I've worked so many jobs, but they all have like $200 in them.
I have so like I have one from when I was working in publishing.
Yeah.
But we moved that into we like dabble in the stock market. So our financial manager, and I say that because it's my husband's. This is not coming from me. I don't have a financial manager. Uses that to like play with the stock market. So
it's fun money.
Play Monopoly money.
That makes sense. A publishing retirement fund would be play money. I can understand that.
But meanwhile, for me, I'm like, can we not take like risky moves on that, please? Because like,
buy Coke. Let's buy Coca-Cola.
Yeah, exactly. Apple, Amazon, something.
Money advice with Heather and Natalie. Buy Coca-Cola at Amazon.
Especially me. Those are the two things I'm using the most, right? Like,
I hope not. You're not supposed to be drinking Coke, Missy.
I broke. And this is all they had. Yeah. It was bad. I went to a dog show and they only had junk food and I fell off the wagon.
You
need to
I gotta
pour
that out. That is trash.
I will pour it out down my throat and then
go buy some really expensive seltzer that makes you feel posh.
I have some really good seltzers. Like I have the Mexican one that is like loaded with ginger. It's so good. Oh my god.
That's what you need.
Mix that with a little tequila.
Yesterday I came home all hot and sweaty from walking around town and I poured lemonade into a cup halfway and then I filled up the rest with like strawberry sunrise LaCroix or something like that. Oh my god, it was so good. And my son's home and I was like, try this. And he's like, oh my god. So I made him one and we were all drinking seltzer and lemonade. My husband's going, that is too sweet. You guys are disgusting. But it was hot. It was like 90 degrees yesterday.
Yeah, you need something refreshing.
Allergies.
Don't die.
I'm dying.
Don't die with your allergies.
I got the allergies. I'm dying.
Yeah.
I think it's time to quit.
I think it's time to lay off.
I lost my voice.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm gonna cough.
Oh. Don't go outside. Maybe just stay inside and be a hermit for the rest of the day.
I am inside. I've been inside an hour. I just started coughing.
I just make you sick, don't I?
It was the Pepsi. It was the sight of the Pepsi.
I know,
she
because usually
up
it's Coke.
A Pepsi bottle. It was disgusting, and I died. This is my ghost talking.
For the record, Natalie, you are like the angel on my shoulder when it comes to soda. So I will listen to you.
That's the one thing I'm angelic about is not drinking Coke. I have a half of vanilla Coke in the fridge, but that's unrelated. I noticed it's a half. I only drank half of it.
And it's probably as a mixer, right?
It will be. It wasn't. It wasn't originally. It was road trip Coke, but it's about to be.
That's my thing. If I have one, I'm fully off the wagon. It's a real problem. Like I am actually addicted to it. So yeah,
I genuinely think like if you stop drinking it for like months and months and months, or maybe a year or something, then when you start drinking again, you're like, oh no, this is terrible. That's what happens to me.
Yeah. Yes, I would. I just need to get to that point of power. Or like discipline.
You've got power. You need to embrace your inner power. Where's your goddess? Where's your anti-soda goddess? Where is she?
I gotta find that bitch.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work on that.
Okay.
Until next time. All right, I'll let you know next week how that goes.
Okay. Go get him, goddess.